Hello and welcome to the Sudoku channel. This is Oliver coming to you from Youghal by the Sea here in Ireland over in Europe, and we are going back through the archives of the Telegraph newspaper looking at their Diabolical Sudokus. Now, part one of the two-part videos we've used the basic solving techniques, and if that don't solve it, then we come up with the part two video, and that's why we have this part two video, because we didn't solve it. And this is as far as we got with part one. Now, if you want to see how we got this far in part one, go down below into the comments and you'll see a link there for part one. Okay, part two. At the end of part one, I mentioned that in these four houses here, there were a number of different simple singles chains that you could use. If you haven't done singles chains, you should go down below again. There are tutorials mentioned down there with links to different tutorials, and one of them is for singles chains, a thing called strong weak links and stuff like that. Now, the singles chain I'm looking at starts here, and you always start as setting it if it is not. So it's on the 1, so we say if not a 1, then it is a 1 here. If that's a 1, then this is not a 1. And if that's not a 1, then this is a 1. You also need to have a look at alternating inference chains and strong weak links. So we've shown that if that is not a 1, this is a 1, and then you must go back the other way again, starting off with it not being true. So if this is not a 1, then this is a 1. If that's a 1, this is not a 1. And if that's not a 1, this is a 1. So either way, one of these will always be 1, which means we can't have a 1 here. So we get rid of that 1, and that means this one up here must be the 1. And you notice we got rid of a 9 there. We'll come back to that now in a minute, or will we do it now? We do it now. We now have 2 9s here. They're the only 2 9s in this column, but also we have a 9 over here. And that 9 gets rid of nothing else. That 1 gets rid of that one there. And we have an 8 6 8 6. That is known as a conjugate pair. If you haven't done conjugate pairs, of course, there's a tutorial down below on conjugate pairs. It's also sometimes called a double, worthwhile having a look at that as well. Okay, so that is our first chain, and we have another couple of chains we can get through as well. But before we do that, there's still a little bit of housekeeping we have to do. For example, this one got rid of that one there, leaving us only 2 1s down here. And that 9 gets rid of that one there, which I missed before, which gives us another 8 6. So we have a conjugate pair in here in the house now of 8 6s. That means we can't have any other 8s or 6s in the house. So we can get rid of these 3 8s. And we have a 1 3 7, a 1 3 7. We have 2 8s this way now. Nice to know. But we have a unique 3 that we'll put in. Unique 3 will get rid of that one and that one, giving us a 1 7 conjugate pair, which unfortunately doesn't get rid of anything here on the row. That would have been quite nice if it did. Yeah, but looking up here on this column, we have just 2 8s. So those 2 8s means we can't have any other 8s in the house. So those 2 8s go, and that leaves just 2 8s down there, 2 8s here, 2 8s up here. I can see a possible chain or other coming out through all of those. Quite a number of binaries hanging around at the moment. 7 6 7 6 7 6s. A lot of 7 6s, aren't there? We've got a 5 6 down there. Oh, 5 6 7 5 6 7 6. That's a triple for the column, which means we can't have any other 7 5s or 6s. So we can get rid of that 7 there and that 5. That's right. And that gives us another conjugate pair here for the column of 8 9. Okay, just wondering what else we can pull out of the hat. Actually, that triple, the 7 6 7 5 6 7 5 6, down here in the house there's just 2 5s out of that. We have 2 7s this way and 3 6s, but down here there's 2 5s, which means we can't have any other 5s in this house because that's the pair for the column. So we can get rid of those 3 5s there. No, we've got 3 5s now. We've got 2 1s, 2 8s, 2 7s over there. Oh, I see something else. That 3 that went in there, should have got rid of that 3 up there. Now we have 2 3s that way. I thought I was going to do something else for us. And we've got 3 3s that way. I think what I need to do now is go back over every row, column and house. Just make sure I've got all the pairs set up. Also, I can't remember now, was it Ross or Scott came up with this? Oh, I've got a message. Came up with this thing of when you've got binaries to print it out and use a color coding scheme on it. I might do that to see if I can find some simple chain to move myself on, because it feels that there should be. Like we've still got a lot of interlinking 1s and 3s and 2s actually, 9s and 8s and 6s. A lot of interlinking stuff there. We should be able to make a nice chain out of that. Okay, let me call a halt here and do a bit of printout and head scratching. I'm back to you in a minute. Okay. Well, while wandering around this puzzle, I saw a triple. We've got 5 8, 6 8, 5 6. Nice simple triple here. But I then noticed that this 5 6 is also repeated over here as a 5 6. And I just noticed here we've got 2 5s here. Put those in. I'm always finding extra little bits and pieces. And so this then becomes a bent triple. And there's many different ways of looking at the bent triple. But normally what you do is you go to one end or the other. And you say, okay, if this is a 5, for example, just for example a 5, how does that affect things? Well, it means that you can't have any more 5s down here. That's one way. Then you look at the other way. So suppose it's a 6. Well, if that's a 6, then this cannot be a 6, it must be an 8. And if that's an 8, this cannot be an 8, it must be a 5. So this also will not be a 5. I thought that was a nice handy little one. You could also look at it, by the way, as a chain. Not a 5, it's a 6. Not a 6, it's an 8. Not an 8, it's a 5. And since every link is a strong link, that's a valid chain both ways. And you can get rid of the 5 there. Okay, well it gives us a 7, so it gets us started anyway. So let's see what that will do for us. And gets rid of that 7 over there. And a 7 in here as well. That's nice, giving us the 1. Getting rid of that 1. And this one here. 2 5 8s. That's a conjugate pair for the row, but also for the house. And we get rid of all the 5s and 8s in here. Not many there, just those. We thought we had a 3 6 3 6 there. We don't. And we're not finished yet. We have this 2 up here to handle. That 2 in there gets rid of this one. And getting rid of that one means that this is the only 2 now left for that row. So we'll come back to that one. Down here we're getting rid of another black 2. Now you want to be careful. That 2 is not paired with this one. There's 3 2s in here. It's only paired with this one up here, so you just get rid of it and it doesn't affect anything else. So we have 2 2s out that way and 2 2s. So that's just a nice little X-wing, which we might be able to come back to later on. We'll come back to that later on. Over here we have a 2, and that gets rid of this 2 here. No other 2s in that column. That doesn't do anything else at all for us. Well, if we come down here to this little X-wing here, so this is our bases, 2s there, and this is our other base of 2s. That means we can get rid of any other 2s. There's one up here, which we should have got rid of anyway because of this one here. So that didn't do anything for us. I think we have now run the course for that particular little thread. I don't see anything else there now on that one. Okay, I've gone through everything and I've put in as many linked pairs as I can. And going through those, I realized that the candidates 1, 2, and 9 are almost completely defined, and it's a waste of time looking to try and get a solution of those ones at this stage. I think we have to go through the other ones, which was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, which is still quite a lot. Not finding any nice singles chains anywhere, but I did find, again, this one down here that we're working on before. I found something down here. If we start again with the 5, if not a 5, it's an 8. If it's not an 8, it's a 6. If it's not a 6, it's a 5. But then we can go this way. If it's not a 5, it's a 4. If it's not a 4, it's a 5. So we started off here, not a 5, and it is a 5 here. Every one of those links was a strong link, so we don't actually have to do the reverse of it. It'll work both ways, which means we can get rid of this 5 here. And that will give us two things. Getting rid of this 5 means this is going to be the 5 for this column. And this is, I thought that would be the 5, but it's not. Okay, well that one is right down here anyway. Gives us a 6. So going on that, that'll get rid of that 6 there. This 6 here, giving us quite a lot of different things now. It gives us an 8. Getting rid of that 8 and that 8. Does that cause anything along here? Well, it means that this is going to be the 8 now in this column. And getting rid of that 9 means this is going to be the 9. But let's go back. We're running away with ourselves. We also have a 5 down here. Put in that 5, we'll get rid of that 5 there. And that is all that does. Now we'll go on the 8. That 8 here. Gets rid of this one here. And nothing else. We have 3 3s, 2 1s, 2 2s. Leave that as it is. Over here. Take the 7. Getting rid of that one. And I'm wondering, are we going to solve this now? It'd be nice if we did. Getting rid of this 7 means that this is the only 7 left in this row, so that will be the 7 there. And this will be the only 3 left in this column. Right, so we've got 2 more there left to be done. 8. Gets rid of that 8 there, and this 8 here. And we have a 5, 6, 5, 6, and a 9. We have a 7 here, gets rid of that one. But that 8 is something over here. This is the only 8 left in this house. So, and that will be the only 4 in the house. And getting rid of that 3 will make that the 3 for the row. Okay. That's cleaned up. 6 gets rid of this 6. Making that the 7, and coming down this way we've no 6s. There's a 7 down here. I'm going to take that now. No 7s there, no 7s here. There's a 3 that we might as well do, and that gets rid of 2 3s there, which means this must be the 3 for the house. This 9 up here gets rid of, I think we have this thing solved. At least I hope we have. I'm sorry if I'm too far away from the microphone. Nothing else with the 9. The 5 gets rid of that 5 and that 5 there. This 9, there's nothing. We have a 6. Well, I'd be amazed if this is not it finished. Getting rid of that 6 and this 6, leaving 2 6s there. Something wrong there. We can't be left with 2 6s. Ah, there's 3 5s and 2 2s. Wakey, wakey. 3 gets rid of that one. And in this house, this now has to be the 3. And we have, looking here, we have 2 7s, which means this cannot be a 7. That must be the 1. That can't be the 1. It must be the 7. And that must be the 6. Down here we have the 1, which means this must be the 2. And up here, this is the only 5. And that means this must be the 7. 5 gets rid of that one. 7 gets rid of that one. In here we have 3, 8 and 4. Right, 4 gets rid of that one. 8 gets rid of nothing. Come back. 3 gets rid of that one. So this is our 3. This is our 5. Getting rid of that one. I just noticed this 8 over here. Might as well stick it in. Gets rid of that one. And this 4 will get rid of that one, giving us that one to be the 5. This one's to be the 8. We get rid of that 5 and that 5. We have a 7 and we have a 4. And what does that do down here? This 5 gets rid of that 5 there, which means this is the 5. Getting rid of that one, making it a 6. Get rid of that one, making it a 5. And that 6 gets rid of that one, making it a 2. And that will make that one equal to a 6. Okay, it wasn't easy. I have to say that. It took a lot of rooting around the puzzle before I found a solution. And I did notice there were a couple of other little chains in there, but they were somewhat insignificant. And I think a lot of what I did was a bit insignificant. It was that pairs chain at the end. That was the real one now that broke the camel's back. That was a nice one. I enjoyed that one. I hope you got it as well. And I'm looking forward to see what the other solutions are. So that's it done for another week. I'll be back to you again, probably most likely next Friday. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be informed automatically when the next one comes out. It's nice to have these comments and thumbs up and stuff like that. It keeps me going. It helps me keep the faith, I suppose, in Sudoku. So look, thank you all for supporting the channel. It's been great. The weather here has not been great, to put it mildly. And nice chatting to you all. And I'll see you again in about a week's time. Till then, Slán Tamil.